So, everyone, it's exciting now. Well, first, I guess I should start with hello, everyone. This is SAKAJI, so Violent Anime 2023 here, or Gabe or John Pullman, manga writer name. Ugh. I've got some exciting news. Okay, so I've been working this whole weekend on the manga SAKAJI la JAKI season 2. And so, you guessed it, this is going to be the full second season of SAKAJI la JAKI, or whatever you want to call it. It's gory, it's good, but the ending of season 2 is just sad in general. You'll see why. It took a lot of creativity and mind work and mind thinking. You know what I'm trying to say? So, if you guys want to, you know the 4 options. Like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe and hit the bell notification to notify for new content on the channel. But hey, those 4 options are up to you. It is the word options, after all. It's not like people are telling you to do all that. But if you feel that way, then, hey, we all feel different in some way. Anyways, that said and done, if you didn't see the last season of my latest manga, SAKAJI la JAKI, or SAKAJI la JAKI, go watch that because you don't want to miss it. I was surprised of one thing. Someone in the comments said it was very scary than any of my other ones. That's what I do. I make horror mangas and I'm proud of it. There's nothing to be ashamed of by that. But that's a thing for a different video and time. Let's just get straight into SAKAJI la JAKI season 2. Let's go! Because I forgot the code name of it. So welcome to SAKAJI la JAKI season 2, Blood and Reset. If you thought the first season of this manga was scary, good for you. You were kind of wrong by it because it was more of a thriller. This is straight up horror. This season, without spoiler, has to do with torture and all kinds of other things. Yeah, let's stop talking about that. Let's go ahead and get into, season 2 of SAKAJI la JAKI, Blood and Reset, and you'll see what I mean by the name of it. So, let us go. But before we do, I mostly forget this sometimes, so I'm not gonna fuck it up this time. This is rated R, obviously, like all my other mangas, unless I'm doing a PG-13 one, which the one after season 3 of this will be a PG-13 one. Anyways, this is rated R for blood, gore, a little bit of language, scary moments all the way through, and just scenes of disturbance. So viewer discretion is advised. And at that said and done with, like I said, go check out season 1. And let's just get straight into SAKAJI la JAKI, Blood and Reset season 2. This picks up in episode 6, right after they just went through hell. Or known as the Hell World. That's the name of episode 6, so let's get into it. Episode 6, Hell World. Even in the halls are bloody. I don't like any of this at all, said Edward, as he saw Dylan, who looked scared. Dylan, are you okay? Hey, Edward, we need to get outside. He is hunting. She murdered a cat and Alice, said Dylan as he went to talk again. A knife cut off his head. As Edward watched in fear, he saw Amber with red glowing eyes in the darkness of the bloody halls, and a look of a killer covered all the way in blood. No, you evil, pathetic girl. And because you are an enemy, you have to die. I didn't think I would come to do this, said Edward as they both chopped off their heads at the same time. The hell world that they're in reset everything. All four of them were alive again, with everything intact and unharmed. Huh? Ah! Ow! Was I dead? Said Amber, as she was not possessed yet, and her eyes were white and green again, the normal color. Oh my God. Were we all dead? I'm glad the three of us are here, but Alice, we still need to end this, to kill her. But before that, I'll just kill the two of you first. So, run! Said Edward as he grabbed a fire axe off of the classroom wall. As Amber and Dylan ran into the dark halls of the Hell World School, Edward had went into a state of madness and went after Amber and Dylan to kill them. Go on, run! But I'll find you and break you. Oh, wait. I have found you, said Edward as he saw Amber running. Edward cut both of her legs off with the fire axe. As he smiled, he dragged Amber by the hair as she cried and screamed. Dylan hid in a classroom for his own protection as Edward had tied Amber to a chair. He cut out her own eyes as blood ran down her face from her eye sockets. He cut out her tongue and threw it on the floor, and as blood spilled out of her mouth and her leg stubs, she cried blood as more blood ran down her face onto her teeth from her eye sockets. Edward, to make Amber suffer even more, he was messing with her mind and torturing her, just so she could suffer some more. I am having a blast by torturing you. Huh. I should do that some more to you, Amber. After all, aren't you having fun too? Said Edward with a look of evil as Amber shook her head no. She pissed herself and cried more blood from her eye sockets and felt scared as Edward cut her left arm with a knife. She screamed in pain, unable to speak. And that is the end of episode 6. This whole next episode, I'm just gonna say this. I should have said this before because of all my horror mangas. If you have nightmares and you've made it this far, I advise clicking off right now. Because, let's be real, I don't want any of you viewers to have nightmares. Now, that might be fine with other YouTubers, I don't know. That might be a bit harsh, but honestly, it might be the truth too. But I'm just doing this for your own safety. And kids, if you're watching this stuff and your parents don't know about it, That's not a good thing to do. I'm just saying. Anyways, let's get into the second opening song, shall we? It is called We All Suffer and Reset. Let's get into it. We all must kill each other and restart like a game. Forgive me, but in a world you feel unforgivable to a point of no trust. So cut me up and let me retry. We will suffer, I will not trust a soul. Even in hell you're gonna die. Spill my and your blood. You're going crazy. You're feeling the madness. I must die to save us all. Let all the suffering stop, and I'll be a savior of hell, so we can all be free from this nightmare. Alright, so that was the second opening song. Now! This is gonna get pretty disturbing, so I'm warning everyone out there. Yet again, I did warn all of you due to the rating. Anyways, let's get right into it, shall we? Episode 7, Amber's second torture session from the madness of Edward and her second reset. You can't imagine how hate has a hold for us to see the truth of the world. But I'm enjoying your suffering. Ready to endure more pain, you ungodly slut, said Edward as he cut off all of her fingers on both of her hands and then cut open her chest as she was all covered in her own blood. Then, at that moment, Edward tore out Amber's heart. As her head tilted downwards, she had died. Then 2 minutes later, her life reset or restarted with everything intact, as she had felt the pain from her second death. She was now unharmed, but hell had made her feel the pain from her previous death. Ow! Ah! Hurts! Ouch! Ah! Make the pain stop! Screamed Amber as she fell on the floor, rolling side to side, and put both hands on her head in pain. Then as she stood up, the pain had stopped. She was glad that it did. She felt relieved. Hey, you okay? Said Dylan. Oh, that's fucked. Let's retry that again. Hey, you okay? Said Dylan. No, that's better. As he felt scared. Yes, but is Edward safe to be around? If so, we need to talk. I think I know what's going on here, said Amber, as Edward told her that he and Dylan are safe to be around. Then, as she felt relieved from this, they all sat down at a school club table and talked. Have any of you felt like you died, but your feelings and emotions take over and you felt like you haven't? Asked Amber, as Dylan replied. Yes, at one point I walked in a room and Alice was... She was in there with Edward and cut him in half, then noticed me and ripped my bottom jaw off and ripped my body open, said Dylan as his heart began to pound. Me too, Amber. You made me drink oil and bleach, and as I was dying, your eyes were fully red, and I felt so terrified. It's like it didn't happen, said Edward, with his self not knowing how to feel at all. That's 'cause we all did die. And thanks to this hell known as SAKAJI la JAKI, it restarts our lives, it makes us feel the pain, and because this is hell, there is no way out. I felt it. Come on. We must go to the Blood Tower. If you can see there, outside of the window, that's where we need to go to end this, said Amber as she turned off the lights and heard Alice in the halls. But as the green in Amber's eyes turned red, she saw Edward and Dylan go out a window. She hopped out as well and looked to the red sky, and as she said, "I'm Hell's Queen." As both Amber and Dylan turned around and saw a bridge, Amber told Edward and Dylan that she's Hell's savior, aka the Queen Devil. Once Alice dies, we can all leave. Well, me anyway, said Amber with full red eyes and a creepy evil smile as the Queen Devil / Amber ran after Edward and Dylan. She was going to kill them. Run, Dylan and Edward. I'll eat you and savor your flesh. And that's the end of episode 7. I think there's 2 more after this. Am I right by that? Hold on. Yes, I'm right. There are 2 more episodes. This goes up to episode 9. So if you've been following along, good job. Anyways, let's get back to it. Episode 8, the Queen Devil, aka Amber, chases Dylan and Edward. Edward's 3rd reset. Dylan, keep on running. I will stop her. Damn you, Amber! Screamed Edward as he turned around and picked up a hell knife and ran towards Queen Devil, aka Amber, and cut her with Hell's knife and pushed her down a hill, then dropped the hell knife and ran. Then, as the sky turned a bright red, he dropped everything and felt loose in his body. As he fell on the ground, he felt these hands that came out of the ground trying to grab his legs, but luckily he was able to escape. I'm sorry, I have tongue-tied there. But as the hands let go, he stood up once again, but then it was pointless. He fell to his knees and looked up to the red sky, unable to move at all this time. Blah! What? Why can't I move? I'm so scared. Huh? What is that? Said Edward, as a big saw cut him in half. He had died. Then, as his life reset, he fell on the ground unconscious as they made it to the Blood Tower. Hey! Are you okay, Edward? Said Dylan, as he went to Edward. He saw Alice had a hold of Amber as he turned around, as she was wielding a machete. This was bad, because Amber has not yet awakened to the power of becoming the Queen Devil, Hell's savior. Let her go, Alice, now! Screamed Dylan, as Edward stood up with blurred vision. Let her go. Fine. Well, I hope you can fly, said Alice as she threw Amber up in the air. She screamed And then, as Alice heard Amber fall on the tower, on the roof of the tower anyway, she grinned and ran up the side of the blood tower and landed on the roof and saw Amber standing up with a kitchen knife in her left hand. "I know what I must do to save us all. I will awaken the Queen Demon, or known as the Queen Devil, and I will break you down and save everyone from this hell known as SAKAJI la JAKI. So Alice, I must say this, give me all you've got," said Amber as she grinned and smeared blood all over her entire body and began to fight Alice. And now we move on to the last episode of Season 2. So that's episode 8 done. This is about to get really sad and really cool at the same time. Well, if you liked the characters so far. Alright, episode 9, Amber vs. Alice and the Awakening of the Queen Devil within Amber. "Just give up, bitch. You're worthless," said Alice as Amber stabbed Alice in her head out of desperation. She had a look of horror as Alice pulled the knife out of her head. As most of the blood went into Amber's body from her smearing it on herself, Alice ran to Amber, and within a second, she dashed at Amber and cut out both eyes and sliced off her left arm and right leg. As blood ran down her face and out of her left arm and her right leg stub, she fell forward and cried blood and tried to crawl away. And when I say stub, I mean like it didn't stop at her left arm. I mean the blood was coming out there a lot. Anyways, let's get on to more of Amber suffering, shall we? "Oh God, it hurts. I can't see. Somebody, if you can hear me, save me!" screamed Amber as she picked her up by the neck. Alice had thrown her on the ground and then picked her up again, just to make her suffer even more. But as a familiar voice said, "Leave her alone! Damn it, I'll kill you, Alice. And with friendship, I'll provide justice and kindness," screamed Dylan as Alice tossed Amber aside. As Amber fell on the roof of the tower yet again, she rolled to the left and heard Dylan screaming as Alice broke his rib cage. She dropped him and said, "I remember when you were an 11-year-old kid and put me in the mud. I was 10 years old and I trusted you. But after that, I came to your house at night and drugged you. And as I knew it, you weren't really a good friend to me," said Alice. But as a scream came from Amber, 2 knife blades stuck out of her forehead, and her left leg regrew with spikes and metal, and a red tail replaced her butt and left arm. As it regrew, it also turned into a spiky metal arm. Her skin had turned blood red. As she stood up, her eyes regrew with the color black and red. And as she grinned with a horrifying look of madness, she smiled as Amber was now Queen Devil. "I told you I would save us. Now, Alice, you will burn." said Queen Devil as she snapped her fingers on her normal arm, her right arm. Alice burned to a crisp and died, but as Edward came up the tower, he had saw Dylan on the ground. Oh my God, Dylan, you're hurt. Wait, Amber, is that you? No way. What happened? Said Edward, as they both hugged in sadness. But as Edward knew that she couldn't come back to her human form, they both kissed, and as Edward opened his eyes, they turned black and red. They cried blood as they fell off of the tower upside down, hugging each other into the blood river. Edward and Queen Devil, aka Amber, they both were now and forever a part of SAKAJI La JAKI, aka Hell, and as Dylan had returned to the real world in his bed, he felt weird and felt his ribcage still a little bit broken. He went to the hospital, but as of 2 days later, he went to Amber and Edward's funeral. When he saw their, what are they called? I'm just going to call them coffins because I really don't know the name. When he saw their coffins, Edward's name was placed on his coffin and Amber's was placed on hers. But then when Dylan hugged his mom, he had cried and felt broken forever. 2 months later. Hey, are you in there, sis? Susuzuki-o, can I talk to you? Susuoki. I can't say his sister's name right. Here, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna restart that sentence. Hey, Sasuko, can I talk to you? Why aren't you answering your door, Sasuko? What? Ha! Sasuko! What? No! Not you too! No! Screamed Dylan as he laid next to his dead sister, crying. Sasuko had died from a heart attack at age 11. Gah! No! Sasuko! Why? And that is the end of Season 2 of the manga. It is rated R, and that is the end of Episode 9. I told you, viewers, it had a really sad ending, and now you see why. Dylan is all alone now, except he's with his mom and his dad still. He's the only kid now, and Sasuko, who was his 11-year-old sister, had died from a heart attack on her bedroom floor. She fell down on her bedroom floor and died. And since Edward and Amber are now part of Hell, they're also dead, so Season 3 is mostly gonna be about him, but it's kind of sad. This, what the hell was that? Ending Song 2, Over Family and Friends Will Die, is a sad one. So, bear with me, because this is basically a tribute song to Dylan and how he feels. This is gonna be pretty sad. It took me a lot of time to think of this, although creativity is probably my specialty after all. Anyways, let's get straight into the second opening song, Over Family and Friends Will Die. Let's do it. And if you guys aren't a fan of sad stuff, you can click off now and call it a day. Act 1, Savagery.
You wish it was you instead of your friends and family that died right on into this. Your tears are sad, it makes us all cry. Do not put a gun in your mouth, please. But your rage fucks up your mind. So just pray to God that with us I confess I loved you all. And my soul is black, why did they all die? I cry, can't save us. I read a book for death, but I'm not accepted to die in any way. I cry, I just want it to end, because I'm lonely, I will not sleep, knowing the ones I loved are dead. I just want this to stop. I confess this is sad to me, but it's making me hurt deep down inside. I just want this to stop. Why wasn't it me that died? But come on, let's face it, right on through. Death will come for us all.
Alright, that's it. That is season 2 of SAKAJI la JAKI. What's this? Season 3 final SAKAJI la JAKI. The code name for that one is Sadness. Yeah. I will also be making a skit of my new upcoming manga after season 3 is done. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed season 2 of SAKAJI la JAKI. If you did, you can like, comment, and you can subscribe and hit the bell notification so you're notified for new content on the channel. Now, like I said, it's optional, so you guys don't have to do that. But I do recommend the 2 options, subscribing and hitting the bell notification. That all said and done, though, you guys have a nice day and evening, afternoon, I don't know. However, I will see all of you in the next one, viewers. Peace out, and bye-bye. But actually, before I go, also stay tuned for RTX, aka Anime Con Comic Con /2. Yeah, the second Anime Con. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, peace out, guys, and bye-bye. And have a good night, evening, afternoon, or morning. See y'all in the next one.